Hello friends, welcome to the Yantra tutorials on configuration of ZigBee in unicast mode. First we'll go through the agenda for discussion. So first we'll explain what is ZigBee and its unicast configuration. Next we'll go through the hardware connection and configuration of ZigBee with PC. Next, working demonstration of ZigBee in unicast mode in XCTU software. ZigBee and ZigBee Pro are the two major classifications under ZigBee wireless modules. ZigBee and ZigBee Pro RF modules were engineered to meet IEEE 802.15.4 standards and support the unique needs of low-cost, low-power wireless sensor networks. These modules require minimal power and provide reliable delivery of data between devices. So the ZigBee, which is capable of operating at 3.3 volt and at few milliamperes, can transmit data to several meters. So the exact range of indoor and outdoor ranges of ZigBee and ZigBee Pro are clearly specified in the data sheet, which is attached to this document. So these ZigBee and ZigBee modules can be operated in various modes like unicast, multicast and broadcast. So I would like to explain you the unicast mode of operation in this tutorial. So let us move to the unicast mode. In unicast mode, there is a data transfer from server to end user. The server can only communicate to the end user, while the end user can acknowledge back or send back data to the server. No more communications are permitted. Since it is a communication between two devices, unicast mode is otherwise called as peer-to-peer communication. The transmission between the unicast can be done in two ways. One is 16-bit address mode and other is 64-bit address mode. So the configurations of this are explained clearly in software configurations. So now we will move on to the hardware implementation of this.
Here we shall explain the network configuration of unicast mode for the ZigBee module. For the unicast network configuration, we require two ZigBee modules, two adapters and two USB cables. The ZigBee module should be mounted on the adapter according to the diagram given on the adapter. It must not be placed in the opposite direction since it may cause further problems. Both the modules should be mounted on the adapter. Now the USB cable should be connected to the PC and the ZigBee module. This ZigBee module will act as a server and this will act as an end user. After connecting the USB cable, the red power LED will indicate the power on for the ZigBee module and the associate green LED will start blinking, indicating that it is ready for association with another ZigBee module. Similarly, connect the end module to the PC. The red power LED and green associate LED is on even for this module.
Now we shall go through the software configuration of ZigBees. Before that, we must ensure that whether the ZigBees are connected properly to the PCs. So that by right clicking on my computer, you will find manage. In device manager, you can find whether these are assigned with the proper COM ports. So here in COM ports you can find, see, I am finding as 19 and 22. So in your case, if you find this is an unknown USB, you can right click on this and you can select update driver. So in this browse my computer for driver software, the location for the driver is given below. You can paste the location here and if you press next, you will install it. In my case, I have installed already, so I am cancelling it now. So now the two ZigBees are connected properly with PC. So I am closing this computer management. After this, we need to open the XCTU software. Before that, we need to go to install this software. So the software is available in software and drivers folder, which is available in DVD. So in this software and drivers, in XCTU, you can find the XCTU setup. Once we click on this and we follow the next steps, you will install it. So the detailed information of the installation of XCTU is attached with this document for your kind information. So I have installed it. So I am closing this now. So I will open two instances of XCTU. So one for the server and other for end user. So now I will configure this XCTU COM19 as server and I will configure this XCTU COM22 as end user. So in order to check whether it is able to communicate with the PC, I will check test and query. So I'll click on the test and query. So both are capable, that is communication with the modem is okay, and it displays a serial number and the modem type. The serial number is the unique thing for a Zigbee. So this identifies the Zigbees. So after this, now it is able to communicate that the PC and Zigbees are connected properly. Now we have to configure it for unicast mode. So for this we go for modem configuration. In this, if you click on read button, you will read the existing configurations of all the things. First, I would explain what is PAN ID and channel. The PAN ID and channel need to be same for both the Zigbees in order to establish the communications. So in my case, let us take the PAN IDs 1234, and I'll make make the PAN IDs of end user also to 1234. So now the PAN IDs of server and end user are same, and the channel is same, so that it can communicate with each other. So now the destination address high and the destination address high. The destination address high need to be 0 in 16-bit address mode, while in case of 64-bit it can be varied, which will be explained detailed in 64 address bit mode. So the destination address low should be the source address of the end user. So if I give 1 here, and the source address of the server should be 1, and if the source address of the server is 2, then the destination address of end user should also be 2. So that destination address of the end user should be the source address of the server, and the destination address of the server should be the source address of the end user, so that it can communicate with this end user, and this end user can communicate with the source. So now I have to write the new configuration to the Zigbees. So if I click write, it will overwrite the existing configuration which was prevailing before. So now we can find this write parameters complete. Once we find write parameters complete, the new data has been written over it. So if we click on the terminal window, this is the terminal window which will display the output for Zigbees. So here this is the server. So I'm typing in server. So the things what I have typed in server is replied back in end user. That is what are the things I have typed here, it is written here. So that is the data has been transmitted from server to end user. Like similarly, we can see if I am typing it in end user, I can get back in server. So the things which are transmitted from here is received here. So most always the data which are written in blue is represent the data that are transmitted, and the data which are in red represent the data that is received. So this clearly explains the unicast mode in 16-bit address mode. That is, there is a communication between the server and end user to server. Now let us move to the 64-bit address mode. So there is a small change in the configuration part. Other remaining things are same as 16-bit configuration. So I will move to the modem configuration in order to configure for 64-bit mode. So here the destination high and low address for the server need to be changed, and the source address need to be changed here. So the destination address high and low should be of the server should be configured, which is equal to the serial numbers high and low of end user. So I am configuring the destination address high of a server with the serial number high of the end user, so which is 13A200. So I have configured it. So now we'll move the destination address of low, which is 4076DD B5. So I am configuring the same serial number low of the end user to the server's destination address. The source address of the server should be FFE in order to implement it in 64-bit mode. So like the same, the end user's destination high should be the serial number high of server, so which is 13A200, and the destination low is 4076D5E7. So the serial number low of server is configured as a destination low address of end user. So now as like server, the source address should be configured to FFE. So I will write this. So this will override the 16-bit address mode to 64-bit address mode. So now we'll go for the terminal window. So we'll clear screen in order to have a new screen. So I will type from server. So which is reflected back in end user. Similarly, if I type back in end user, it is reflected back in server. So both the things can be done, which is similar to 16-bit address mode. The difference between 64 and 16-bit is that if you have an address of location more than 16, then you can go for 64-bit. So here we can transmit the ASCII values, that is which of 8-bit address, so that there is no much difference between 16-bit and 64-bit. The only configuration varies. So if you have some address, in some practical cases you will have address which are more than of 16 bits. So in that cases you can go for 64-bit address mode for transmission. So in this tutorial we have gone through the unicast mode implementation in 16-bit mode and 64-bit mode. So thank you. Signing off from the team eYantra.